Hello to everybody. Today I'm talking about the decans of Capricorn. And here we have 3 decans: Jupiter, Mars, and Sun. These are the ruler planets for these 3 decans. So the first decan is ruled by Jupiter. Here, this kind of Capricorn is ambitious, strategic, and kind of optimist. Jupiter adds expansion, wisdom, and foresight to the natural Capricorn discipline, creating a leader who sees the big picture. So, which are the main traits for this native? Long-term vision and strategic planning, optimistic yet practical approach, inspires trust and confidence, seeks success through ethical means. But they need to learn to lead with wisdom, patience, and expansive vision, and to not overextending or relying on luck instead of effort. But they need to take into account efficiency, because actually you can have very good results being efficient, not to work like a slave. Let's see how the planets are working in the first decan of Capricorn, ruled by Jupiter, between 0 and 10 degrees. Sun in Capricorn expresses identity through ambition, responsibility, and long-range purpose. But Jupiter's influence adds optimism, confidence, and visionary leadership. These natives want to build something that lasts, a legacy, a structure, a role of authority. They shine when their achievements serve a broader social or ethical purpose. The challenge is balancing high standards with compassion for their own limitations. Moon in Capricorn becomes emotionally steady, self-contained, and disciplined. Feelings are filtered through logic, goals, and the desire for control. Jupiter softens the austerity, giving the emotional life more warmth and philosophical grounding. This decan produces individuals who manage stress well, but often reveal their deeper feelings slowly over time. Mercury in Capricorn operates with strategic thinking, structured reasoning, and long-term mental planning. Jupiter expands intellectual horizons, making these natives wise and purposeful in communication. They think before they speak, preferring meaningful conversations, serious debates, and goal-oriented dialogue. The challenge is avoiding pessimism couched as realism. Venus in Capricorn expresses steady devotion, long-term loyalty, and dignified affection. Jupiter adds generosity and openness, creating a relational style that is stable but warm. Love grows slowly here through shared goals, trust, and consistent effort. These natives value partners who are reliable, principled, and willing to build a future together. The challenge is avoiding emotional walls disguised as standards. Mars in Capricorn acts with strategic precision, discipline, and relentless endurance. Jupiter amplifies ambition and gives battles a sense of purpose. These natives fight for meaningful goals, ethical principles, or long-term achievements. Action is patient but unstoppable. The challenge is avoiding burnout from constant striving. Jupiter in Capricorn is in its own decan expresses ethical leadership, structured wisdom, and responsible expansion. Growth happens slowly but steadily, through discipline, mastery, and long-term planning. These people are often respected mentors, advisors, or organizers. The challenge is remembering that wisdom doesn't always require perfection. Saturn in Capricorn expresses authority, discipline, and mastery of structure. In Jupiter's decan, this becomes the archetype of the benevolent leader, strict but fair, demanding but wise. These natives build systems, institutions, or personal empires. Life asks them to grow through responsibility and maturity. Uranus in Capricorn brings structured innovation and disciplined rebellion. These people make a revolution in systems, slowly, strategically, and effectively. They are reformers who change the world one carefully planned step at a time. Neptune in Capricorn expresses practical idealism, structured dreams, and disciplined imagination. These people turn visions into reality through planning, patience, and hard work. This is the archetype of the builder mystique. Pluto in Capricorn brings extreme discipline, transformative authority, and deep structure power. These people often reshape systems, institutions, industries, or cultural foundations. Their influence grows over time. North Node in Capricorn pushes toward responsibility, mastery, and building a meaningful legacy. South Node in Cancer must let go of emotional overdependency and retreating from challenges. Ascendant in Capricorn is serious, strategic, and authoritative presence. Descendant in Capricorn brings partnership built on loyalty, patience, and shared ambitions. Midheaven in Capricorn, careers involving leadership, administration, governance, architecture, academia, or long-term projects. Imum Coel in Capricorn, a home life shaped by responsibility, standards, or early maturity. Lot of fortune in Capricorn, success through discipline, structure, and consistent dedication. The second decan of Capricorn is ruled by Mars and is between 10 degrees and 20 degrees. Mars brings drive, courage, and determination. These Capricorns are warriors of ambition, fearless in pursuit of their goals. Which are the traits? Highly motivated and action-oriented, resilient and fearless in challenges, competitive and goal-focused, strong leadership under pressure. They'll need to learn to assert oneself with integrity and determination, and to not become over-aggressive or burning bridges to succeed. Mars ruling this decan, adding heat, pressure, ambitious, force. Planets here are driven, competitive, resistant to defeat, and fearlessly self-directed. They work with precision, austerity, and the willingness to endure what others avoid. Let's see how the planets are working in this decan. Sun in Capricorn here shines through grit, discipline, and the instinct of conquer difficult terrain. This is an archetype of the survival leader, someone who earns authority through action, not words. Mars injects urgency into Capricorn's usual slow pace. So these natives push themselves hard, often too hard, pursuing mastery and reputation with warrior-like restraint. There is a deep desire to be respected, to leave a legacy, and to overcome personal limitations. Leadership manifests through example, tough, reliable, and unshakably focused on results. Moon in Capricorn in this decan expresses themselves as endurance, self-control, and internal pressure to stay strong. The moon here rarely collapses. It compresses, contains, and restructures feelings until they become fuel. Mars adds a reactive edge, irritation held beneath the surface, emotional hyper-responsibility, and fierce protectiveness over personal stability. This placement creates people who care through action, fixing problems, taking charge, and making sacrifices. They dislike vulnerability, yet crave environments where their resilience is recognized. Mercury in Capricorn in the second decan thinks like a tactician. It's sharp, dry, incisive, and direct. Mars gives speech a cutting quality, not rude but efficient, strategic, sometimes intimidating in clarity. These people are brilliant planners. They deconstruct obstacles and communicate with impressive discipline. Decision making is pragmatic and goal-oriented, and they excel in fields requiring structure, logic, and long-term strategy. Venus in Capricorn in this decan, it's about love and pleasure function through loyalty, endurance, and ambition. Venus here is selective, slow to open, but intensely committed once trust forms. Mars adds a hint of passion under the surface, a controlled fire. These natives show affection through effort, consistency, improvement, and shared goals. Attractiveness comes from competence, seriousness, and the ability to handle pressure. Partnerships must have purpose and durability. Mars in Capricorn in its own decan, it's a powerhouse. Mars is exalted in Capricorn and doubly empowered in its own decan. The drive is relentless, efficient, strategic, and disciplined, never wasted. These people excel in crisis, competition, and long-term ambition. Their stamina is remarkable. They work through pain, obstacles, and delays with stoic precision. Anger is cold, not explosive, a controlled heat that moves mountains. Jupiter in Capricorn in the second decan grows through discipline, pressure, and strategic risk-taking. Expansion here is earned through perseverance. Mars adds assertiveness, but with caution. These natives seize opportunities through calculation. Success comes from mastery, resilience, and competence. They often become mentors, leaders, or builders who grow slowly but solidly and thrive in structured environment. Saturn in Capricorn in the second decan is dignified anyway in Capricorn, but sharpened by Mars, because it's ruled this decan by Mars. So these people hold themselves to intense standards. They carry heavy responsibilities, often early in life, and develop extraordinary endurance. Their authority is earned through hard-won resilience. They are uncompromising, self-reliant, and deeply strategic, mastering the art of long-term victories. Uranus in Capricorn in the second decan, rebellion manifests through structure. These people innovate like engineers or reformers. They disrupt outdated systems by rebuild better ones. Mars adds precision and courage, giving them an instinct to push society forward through discipline rather than chaos. Neptune in Capricorn in the second decan, here imagination becomes architectural. Dreams are approached like projects. Mars clarifies Neptune's diffuse energy, giving the native the ability to manifest visions through disciplined action. They can be powerful creators of long-term artistic or spiritual structures. Pluto in Capricorn in this decan is the power that forged under pressure. Pluto here works like a silent commander, intense, strategic, emotionally impenetrable. Transformation comes through endurance, ambition, and mastering personal shadows. North Node in Capricorn, the soul's path involves discipline, mastery, responsibility, and courageous independence. Growth comes through endurance and taking charges of its own destiny. Some past tendencies include overwork, self-reliance, emotional resilience, and control. The challenge is to soften without losing strength. Ascendant in Capricorn, the personality appears intense, disciplined, sharp, and fiercely competent. Others sense authority and endurance upon first meeting. Descendant in Capricorn. Relationships require strong, reliable partners, people who push the native to grow and who can handle pressure without collapsing. Midheaven in Capricorn. Career is marked by ambition, responsibility, leadership under pressure, and long-term achievement. These people climb high by sheer force of will. Imukueli in Capricorn. Family themes revolved around discipline, resilience, survival, and high expectations. Inner life is structured and private. Part of fortune in Capricorn, the prosperity is coming through discipline, consistent effort, mastery, and the ability to endure challenges longer than anyone else. The third decan of Capricorn is ruled by the Sun. The Sun gives visibility, confidence, and authority. This is the Capricorn who naturally command respect, blending discipline with charisma. Which are the traits? Confident and authoritative presence, leadership through personal example, high ambition with natural gravities, inspires and leads by showing capability. They need to learn to shine through effort and responsibility, not from ego only, and to not confuse status with self-worth or authority with control. A Sun that is ruling this decan, it's showing the themes of it about authority, visibility, purpose, identity, and legacy that become central. Let's see how each planet is working in this third decan ruled by Sun between 20 and 30 degrees. Sun in Capricorn is empowered in its own decan, giving the native a regal, dignified leadership quality. Capricorn's strategic discipline merges with the Sun's drive for self-expression and legacy, producing a personality that wants to build something lasting, visible, and admirable. Authority is not only assumed but expected. These people radiate competence and maturity. Their identity is shaped through achievement, excellence, and contribution to society in tangible ways. They feel most alive when they have a role of significance and when their efforts are publicly recognized. This is the builder king archetype. Steady, wise, commanding without force. Their endurance is calmer, less harsh, more focused on refinement, mastery, and self-respect. Moon in Capricorn. Emotions center around self-worth, responsibility, and the desire to feel proud of oneself. Moon curates its inner world like a carefully managed garden. The Sun brings warmth, But Capricorn lifts it through resilience, creating a person who needs stability, order, and admiration to feel safe. Emotional life revolves around purpose, achievement, and respect. They show care through loyalty and by shining quietly behind others, helping them succeed. There is a private longing to be valued for their competence and integrity. Mercury in Capricorn communicates with authority, clarity, and polished discipline. Thoughts are structured, serious, and oriented toward long-term meaning. The Sun gives confidence to speech, allowing for elegant expression without unnecessary flourish. These natives think like architects of ideas, strategic, steady, and focused on producing something that stands the test of time. They excel in leadership roles, business strategy, public speaking, writing, or any activity requiring intellectual dignity and order. Venus in Capricorn. Love expresses itself with warmth wrapped in structure. Venus here cares through consistency, loyalty, and the desire to build a life of quality and prestige with a partner. The Sun adds pride and devotion. Relationships are chosen with seriousness and the wish to grow into a power couple. They are attracted to competence, confidence, ambition, and integrity. Aesthetics lean toward refinement, minimalism, and timeless elegance. Passion emerges slowly and becomes steady, reliable, and enduring. Mars in Capricorn, here it's exalted, and the Sun's decan becomes disciplined, noble, and strategic. The drive is powerful but controlled, guided by purpose rather than impulse. This Mars fights with dignity. They pursue goals with intelligence, patience, and unwavering dedication. Their energy is best used in leadership roles, long-term projects, and situations requiring both stamina and confidence. Jupiter in Capricorn expands through dignified effort, responsible growth, and the pursuit of long-term success. The Sun adds clarity and vision, making these natives wise builders who prioritize sustainable achievement over instant gratification. Opportunities arise through leadership, discipline, education, and competence. Morality is traditional: honor, duty, integrity, and legacy. Their luck grows gradually but reliably. Saturn in Capricorn is in own sign gains an added layer of dignity from the Sun's decan. These natives carry authority naturally, calm, mature, structured, and respectable. They understand hierarchy, responsibility, timing, and long-term planning. Saturn here builds with full awareness of consequences. The person becomes an architect of life structures, careers, systems, institutions, or personal legacies. They age gracefully into true authority. Uranus in Capricorn, innovation expresses itself through leadership and structural reform. These people change the world by improving systems, not destroying them. Uranus here becomes a dignified reformer, strategic, visionary, and practical. They modernize hierarchies, upgrade institutions, and lead others toward more efficient futures. Neptune in Capricorn gains structure and direction. Imagination becomes purposeful, idealism becomes discipline, and dreams manifest as long-term projects. The Sun adds inspiration and clarity, making these natives capable of building beautiful or spiritually significant structures, both literal and metaphorical. Pluto in Capricorn here carries commanding presence. Power is quiet, sovereign, and concentrated. These people transform through dignity, discipline, and responsibility. They become masters of self-control and builders of enduring influence. Their transformation often leads them to positions of authority or deep inner sovereignty. North Node in Capricorn, the path of growth involved leadership, discipline, visibility, and constructively a legacy. Life pushes the native toward roles of responsibility and mastery. But if it's the South Node in Capricorn, past tendencies include self-reliance, ambition, and emotional restraint. They may have been leaders or people of influence before. Now they must refine ego and step to responsible authority. Ascendant in Capricorn, the outward personality looks dignified, competent, serious, and naturally authoritative. Others sense leadership instantly. They radiate maturity, purpose, and self-possession. Descendant in Capricorn require strong, confident, responsible people. The native is drawn to powerful, accomplished partners who reflect their own desire for stability and mutual growth. Midheaven in Capricorn, career revolves around leadership, public authority, legacy, and mastery. These people often rise to high-ranking positions due to competence, dignity, and strategic intelligence. Moon Coeli in Capricorn, inner life is structured, disciplined, and oriented towards self-respect. Family themes often involve high expectations, legacy, tradition, and responsibility. Part of fortune in Capricorn, it means that prosperity comes through dignity, visibility, competence, and the disciplined pursuit of meaningful legacy. Their fortune grows brightest when they lead with dignity. So, look in your natal chart and see where do you have Capricorn. And if you have planets there, or important points, or pars fortunae, or north nodes, or south node, and see in which decan do you have these planets or points. I'm waiting your comments and questions down below. Until next time, I wish you all the best. Bye-bye.